In March of 1966, something mysterious was seen in the night sky over Dexter and Hillsdale, Michigan. Dexter residents described floating discs in the night sky. Hillsdale College students reported strange lights flying over the dorms. Walter Cronkite reported the story on the national news, and then Congressman Gerald Ford called for an investigation. So what did everyone see? Let's dig in. UFO researcher and author Raymond Szymanski has investigated these incidents in addition to famous cases from the mid-1960s UFO wave to demonstrate how these events and their witnesses were minimized to keep a lid on the UFO phenomenon. For the last 75 years, everyone who saw and reported a UFO was instantly labeled crazy, says Szymanski. The government, the media, and paid professional debunkers had a field day crucifying credible UFO witnesses on the front pages of the local newspapers with tabloid precision. In March 1966, flying saucers were making the headlines across the nation, but nowhere more prominently than in southeastern Michigan, says Szymanski. Hundreds of responsible citizens, including multiple dozens of police officers, were filing reports on a group of 4 UFOs that were seen at close range, often displaying incredible aviation technology. The most famous of these headlines involved the remarkable sightings at Dexter and Hillsdale on the 20th and the 21st of March. The night of March 20th, 1966, was unremarkable at first in the rural town of Dexter, Michigan. A gentle chill hung in the air as the early spring thaw began to creep across the landscape. But as dusk fell, an unsettling brightness pierced the skies above a marshy field on the outskirts of town. Frank Manor, a local farmer, was the first to report the anomaly. Accompanied by his teenage son, he ventured toward the strange glow that had caught his attention. The light shimmered like molten metal, hovering just above the swamp. It pulsated between shades of red, green, and white, casting eerie shadows over the reeds. It looked like a football-shaped object about the size of a car, Frank would later recount to local authorities. It moved in a way I ain't never seen before, almost like it was alive. The two stood mesmerized, the hairs on the back of their necks standing on end. Without warning, the object shot straight upward into the sky, vanishing in an instant. Word of the sighting spread quickly through Dexter and the surrounding areas. By the time dawn broke, the story had reached Hillsdale College, 30 miles away. That very night, on March 21st, the mystery deepened. In Hillsdale, at the dormitory for female students, a group of young women noticed peculiar lights hovering near the horizon. At first, they dismissed them as airplanes or farm equipment, but as the lights drew closer, they began to behave in ways that defied earthly explanation. The lights split apart, darted back together, and moved with an almost playful rhythm. One of the students contacted the campus director of women, Mrs. Swetlick, who rushed to the scene. Together, they watched in astonishment as the lights danced for hours before disappearing into the night. Both incidents sparked a media frenzy. The Detroit Free Press dubbed it Michigan's flying saucer epidemic. Eyewitness accounts poured in, describing objects with unnatural movements, blinding lights, and strange, high-pitched hums. Some residents claimed to feel a lingering static charge in the air even hours after the sightings. Investigators descended upon the area, including Dr. J. Allen Hynek, an astrophysicist and consultant for the U.S. Air Force's Project Blue Book, the government program tasked with studying UFO reports. After interviewing witnesses and examining the sites, Hynek made his now famous and controversial explanation. He proposed that the lights were not extraterrestrial at all, but a natural phenomenon. Swamp gas, according to Hynek, the marshy terrain could have released methane, which ignited under certain conditions, producing the flickering lights. The explanation satisfied some, but left many incredulous. Witnesses, including Frank Manor and the Hillsdale students, were adamant that what they saw could not be explained away so easily. For decades, the Dexter Hillsdale UFO sightings have remained a source of fascination and debate. Were they the result of atmospheric anomalies, military experiments, or encounters with visitors from beyond the stars? Even now, on quiet spring evenings, Locals claim to see fleeting lights in the swamps, their movements as mysterious and otherworldly as the night they first appeared. For the people of Dexter and Hillsdale, the truth is out there, still shimmering in the memories of those who dared to look up.